What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Mike, and today's video is going to be about my top 5 favorite league winning players. These are all players that are significantly undervalued in drafts and you want to be taking in all of your leagues. But before we jump in this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at fantasy_puck for daily updates. And if you want access to all of our premium tools, our projections, draft sheet, trade analyzer, and more, head over to our Patreon. Without further ado, let's jump into the top 5 league winning players video. The first league winning player that you should be prioritizing in your drafts is Evander Kane of the Edmonton Oilers. He's been mentioned in a number of videos now on this channel, but let me reiterate why we like him so much. Kane put up 22 goals and 39 points, including 152 shots and 135 hits in just 43 games after he signed with the Oilers in the middle part of last season. Not only did Kane do this while under mental duress, but he stepped into play action after missing the first half of the season. Kane is going to start the year on the line with the best player in hockey, Connor McDavid. Now, I can't really say for sure that they will stick together for the entire season, but the upside of this possibility makes it much more intriguing. Kane has an extremely high floor if he doesn't reach his point ceiling because of his outstanding 10.9 shots per 60 rate and 10.2 hits per 60 rate, both well above league average. McDavid's coming off of the best season of his career, 44 goals and 79 assists, and he now has Kane as an elite goal scorer on the left side. This is just a recipe for success. Kane's ADP this season is 63, and he's being drafted in the late 5th round in 12-team leagues. Our projections for Kane this season is 78 games played, 34 goals, 31 assists, 265 shots, and 175 hits. We have Kane as our rank 15 player in leagues with goals, assists, plus minus shots, and hits, meaning we project him about 40 spots above his ADP. I would consider drafting Cade in the 3rd or 4th round in all leagues. Moving on, you've probably already guessed it by now, Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils. This kid is special and he's going to prove it this season. Prior to injury, Hughes was lighting up the league on a well below average team, 26 goals and 56 points in just 49 games, and he managed to raise his shot rate from 8 shots per 60 to 10.3 shots per 60 last season. In just his 3rd NHL season as a 20-year-old, amongst centers, Hughes ranked top 11 for 5-on-5 shots per 60, goals per 60, and points per 60, as well all strength, points per 60, goals per 60, and shots per 60. Maybe those numbers aren't that eye-popping, but let's keep 2 things in mind. 1, Dougie Hamilton, the Devils' #1 defenseman, spent some time early in the season on the injured list, and Hughes continued to dominate. 2, the Devils were the 22nd best offensive team in hockey, yet Hughes showed no signs of slowing down. He's now entering his 21-year-old season healthy and ready to show his true dominance. The Devils are looking a lot better. Hischier will play a shutdown role against opposing teams' top lines, while Hughes will find himself against the 2nd and even 3rd lines. Hischier was healthy all of last season, and Hughes still averaged 19 minutes and 34 seconds time on ice, the 30th best for forwards last season. Hughes' ADP 95 on Yahoo is just despicable, and he should be taken in the 4th or 5th round. The lack of hits is my only concern, but you know that when drafting him. We project Hughes to score 34 goals, 53 assists, take 219 shots, and just 17 hits. Think about that value in the mid part of your draft. To round out the forward group, the last league-winning player is Brayden Point of the Tampa Bay Lightning. To clear the air early, I want to mention that I am aware Point underwent surgery in the offseason for a torn quad, and this actually may be why he's at ADP 117 this season. Point was being drafted in the top 40 in the prior 2 years. Now Kucherov is finally healthy, and in typical Kucherov fashion, he will mesh perfectly with Point this season and carry that Tampa Bay offense. Early looks in preseason show that Point will be centering Stamkos and Kucherov on the team's top line. The last time these 3 were healthy, now I don't think they played on the same line, but back in 2018, Kucherov had 128 points, Stamkos had 98, and Point finished with 92. The Point Stamkos Kucherov line has 740 minutes of sample size since 2019. In that time, they have an absurd 75% goals for percentage, 107 goals for, and just 35 against. I actually couldn't believe this when I looked it up. One of the more dominant trios in the league. In that time, Point ranks 36th in the league for points, 26th for goals. Although health is a concern for all 3 of these players on the Lightning's first line, if they can stay healthy for at least 80% of the games, Point ceiling is 40 goals and 90 points, and maybe even more than that. Projections have him at 33 goals, 42 assists, and a 30% power play point share or 29 power play points. At ADP 117, Point is being drafted in the late 9th, early 10th round, but you should be looking to draft him in the 4th or 5th round. Moving on to the Defenseman League winners, we have Miro Heiskanen of the Dallas Stars. The smooth skating defenseman has made a name for himself as one of the best defensive-minded defensemen, but this year is Heiskanen's year to make a statement offensively. Klingberg didn't sign up the Stars this offseason, and now Heiskanen is the clear #1 option in that Stars back end. He will now line up on the Stars' 9th ranked top powerplay unit for the entire season. Not only does Heiskanen's ceiling rise considerably this year, but so does his floor. He averaged 24 minutes and 53 seconds time on ice last season, and now with the departure of Klingberg, it's likely that Heiskanen reaches over 25 minutes and even into the 26-minute range. Heiskanen has yet to reach the 40-point mark in his career, although on pace to break it in 2019 and 2020, missing time in this shortened season left him just short of the mark. Heiskanen in 2021 scored just 5 goals, a career low, and added 31 assists while taking 158 shots and 52 hits. Nothing really eye-popping here, but his shooting percentage was nearly half of his career average, and we will see that rise in 2022. Defensemen are extremely thin this season, and at ADP 97, Heiskanen improves to be one of the top defenseman values. We project him to play in 77 games this season, score 11 goals, 38 assists, take 179 shots, and 57 hits. His ceiling is 60 plus points, and if he can have a ceiling year, he will be a league winner. Finally, to end off this video with the last league winning player that you want to be drafting across all of your leagues, Thomas Chabot of the Ottawa Senators. Chabot is one of the best defensemen in the league, but year after year, he's continually being overlooked. He had the second highest average time on ice last season at 26 minutes and 11 seconds, just 1 second behind Seth Jones. This gives Chabot an extremely high floor. The Senators didn't really get any better on the back end, meaning that Chabot is in line this season to play another 26 plus minutes per night. His 2021 season was cut short, but in the 59 games he did play, he managed to put up 38 points, take 173 shots, 93 blocks, and 73 hits. He was on a 52.82 game pace with over 240 shots on a Senators team who ranked in the bottom 7 for goals last season. But man, this new and improved Senators team should really turn some heads this season, and this is really not factored into Chabot's current ADP. They added a 40 goal scorer in Alex DeBrincat and a 70-point winger and a leader in the locker room, Claude Giroux. The Senators finally have a starting goaltender with the signing of Cam Talbot, and now this team looks like a serious contender. Although I do think they will be a playoff bubble team, their power play will get considerably better, and now they have 4 solid offensive lines. I can see the Senators reaching the top 10 to 15 in goals for this season, and Chabot's going to be the focal point of this team's offense. At ADP 114, Chabot is off the board in the early 10th round. We project Chabot for 64 points this season, 191 shots, and 88 hits, making him the 8th best defenseman off the board. Grab Chabot in around 7 or 8, and if he has a ceiling year, he could easily finish as a top 5 defenseman. That'll do it for our league winning players video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.